to the multi-talented David Steinberg. Nice to have you here.
Thank you, David. Thank you. That's wonderful.
It's amazing. One day all television will be like this.
Yes, let's hope so.
Now, we mentioned you're going to be at Caroline's. You're doing your act.
Yes, yes.
I guess most people know you probably as a stand-up comedian, but you're also a director. Now, what is that like? When did you make the transition?
Well, I was tired of the road. My wife had a tendency to look at a wall and say she wanted French doors.
Mm-hmm.
And I would call Frankie Valli and say, well, let's go to the Aladdin and open. I thought, how many years can you keep on doing that?
Yeah.
So I started to direct, but I don't direct like most people. I'm not a powerful director.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I don't do it for the...
You don't dominate the set.
No. Usually I'm the guy that you would send to get coffee, you know. I have no strength on this. I don't believe that there are powerful directors anymore.
There used to be, I think.
Yes,
right?
there used to be.
Yeah.
That's right. In fact, Walt Disney was the most powerful director that there ever was because he could say whatever he wants to Mickey, and Mickey would do whatever he said.
Sure,
you know?
pretty much, yeah.
I mean, if I go to Burt Reynolds, it's a negotiation at best. If Walt wants... Mickey never said to Walt, I want to see Walt in my trailer.
Yeah.
You know, Mickey was never in a black robe, you know, with a Coke spoon up his nose.
No.
Saying I can't make it to the set, you know. I'm at the Betty Ford Center tonight. So the power in directing has changed. It's a little odd. Ron Howard is a big director, and Rob Reiner is a director.
Right.
So the major power in directing right now are Opie and Meathead. So Orson Welles died without being able to make a movie. Opie and Meathead, they get pay-or-play deals all along. They happen to be good at what they do, so why begrudge them
Opie
that?
and Meathead. I never quite looked at it like that before.
Yeah, I see. People are taking the old comedies very seriously now. Mm-hmm. At NYU, there's a course in Green Acres. Honest. I mean, I'm not making... They think that Hooterville and, you know, and Arnold the Pig spoke to a generation, you know? And I, for one, find it a little difficult to take comedy that seriously.
Well, you know, as we get older, the golden age of television moves up a little.
That's right.
Each generation has a different vision of what that was.
Sure. I mean, the 80s will be the decade of the Love Connection.
All right.
Without any question.
People doing their dissertation on Chuck Woolery and so
Chuck
forth.
Woolery, that's absolutely right.
And, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just thinking that, you know, I don't think you should worry about, what is it, KMO-TV?
KOMU-TV in Missouri.
You see, when you're doing very well. You just got picked up.
We were picked up for another year,
For at least another year. I mean, you're the hot thing going. But when NBC or a network decides that you're not hot, they have a new thing that they do. For instance, this Mark Harmon on St. Elsewhere decided that he should be doing some other things, you know, a sort of innocent choice for an actor. Mm-hmm. So the producers gave him AIDS on the show. And he's sort of rotting away until his contract is up. And that's what they do. Gonzo from Trapper John, he wants to move on to other things, so what they're doing to him, he's practically a slobbering catatonic now, you know? They're going to say, okay, you can go and do something else, but we're not going to make it easy.
We're not going to be a part of the continuing audition for you.
Absolutely. Moldavia was an example of that. Yeah. They had someone come in, shoot them all, then the agents come in and walk over the bodies and negotiate for the actors. Yeah. And the ones that take the least money get up and are resurrected and live. And those with integrity...
They're gone. Yeah.
So they'll have their way of...
Now, I didn't realize that Mark Hart, is he no longer on the show, or do they just have him sealed in a room that you never go into?
Well, he's dying of AIDS in an offbeat way. You see, I don't think they're going to want to kill him. The AIDS is too volatile a subject. Sure. So they will hint that he's on AIDS, and then as he's going to visit his doctor, he'll walk across the street and a truck will hit him. You know. So they have their way of...
But do you see him week to week anymore?
No, yeah, no, he's on.
Yeah,
he's on. Oh, no, they're letting you know that they don't like that he's out there doing the Coors commercial. You know?
Yeah.
So they're trying to give you the mixed image of this decrepit old person on television.
And the other guy, something terrible has happened to him neurologically.
Gonzo is, what's that handsome young man? Paul. My Paul will know.
Paul? Do you know the man's name?
No, sir, I do not.
Oh, well.
Paul's got his hands full with this Missouri
What is it?
thing.
Gregory?
Yeah, Gregory Harrison.
Gregory Harrison.
Harrison.
Yeah.
A handsome, you know, he's in the hunk category.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're going to destroy this guy before they're going to make sure that no one wants to use him on anything else. So that's pretty much how.
Because people will think, well, we'd like to hire him, but doesn't he have some kind of neurological problem? Yeah. Okay, we're going to do a commercial here, David,
Okay.
and then we'll be right back.
Great.
More with Mr. Steinberg, folks. You're going to be at Caroline's.
That's
for,
right.
You've been there before, have you not?
Yeah, I come back, you know, once a year.
Yeah. And you do. It's mostly topical stuff, isn't it?
Well, lately I've been improvising more than I ever have. I use the audience quite a bit. I solicit their opinions on subjects and work with them. It's not an adversarial relationship. Yeah, topical. I'll go off the newspaper as much as I possibly can. You know, it's not hard. It's not difficult. So long as there is a Reagan and so long as there is a Gaddafi, there will be stuff to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Gaddafi. The thing about Reagan is, it's in the little things, sort of the offbeat things. For instance, Reagan calling Gaddafi flaky, I thought was interesting. You know, all of a sudden, you know, it's not really Churchillian. You know, when you know, every once in a while you get these guys without their speechwriters, and the true self comes out. Like, I remember once Nixon said "right on" television, you know, and as if he was some hipster playing in Harlem, you know, and we were going to buy this concept. So Reagan was running, and he didn't really have his thoughts worked on. He said, "Yeah, he's a barbarian, and he's flaky." So now now Gaddafi's people have to come to Gaddafi and explain what flaky is. So he has to summon his aides and say, "Okay, I see that Reagan is a doofus." And then Gorbachev gets into the melee and says they're both goofballs, and you start to change the rhetoric just off of a little tiny word like flaky. The other thing about Gaddafi that's interesting is he claims that there are suicide squads in the States right now just ready for him to, you know, give them a call and
say the word.
Say the word. And so I'm wondering, you know, like, what are the suicide squads doing while they're here, you know? I mean, I have an image of them in Disneyland with the mouse ears on, you know, watching the Love Connection or the Super Bowl. And, you know, I have a feeling the suicide squads are picking up on the American vernacular, you know. Before they go out in the street, they go, "Here's to good friends," you know. And one of them says, "Oh, you're beautiful." And, you know, it is a strange thing when you start to mix in the culture with. I mean, the facts are quite interesting.
Did you see any of the telecast or the film or whatever it was with Gaddafi and his family from the family tent?
Yes. Now we know that this guy doesn't live in a tent.
Yeah, I would think probably not.
No, this guy has an Advent with video cassettes,
bumper pool,
porn movies. You know, bumper pool. This guy is the Hefner of his desert.
Yeah, I would think so.
And he's trying to convince us that there he is with the one wife, which is passé in his country, and in a tent with these kids. You know, sort of Gaddafi knows best. No, I don't think we fell for that one.
Yeah. It was a good-looking tent, though.
Because it had carpets on the floor.
Yeah, nice color, and it probably didn't have that nasty mildew that most tents accumulate.
No, they would figure out a way to do air conditioning on it. And, it was a great. If you have to live in a tent, that would be the tent I'd want to live in.
Yeah. Are you a new father or a new father again?
I'm a new father again.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The applause. Sure.
Well,
they couldn't be happier for you.
Well, thank you. I know how sincere that is. It is the best thing that I have done with my life. My daughter Sasha is 3 years old, and the new one Rebecca is 3 months old. So now my life is pretty much trying to make Sasha adjust to her new sister.
Right.
It's an incredible thing to watch. Sasha will say, Daddy, let's go pinch Rebecca. You know, and she thinks this is something that you should openly be doing, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And she hasn't quite made the adjustment that I'd want. You know, I'll say, Sasha, were you in Rebecca's room? And she'll say, no, Daddy. And I'll go into Rebecca's room, and the swing, Rebecca's swing will be going like The Exorcist, like this, you know, 360 degrees. And so...
Is that normal? Can we expect some of that, I guess?
I haven't asked anyone about it.
Yeah, well, look into that.
I will.
You are going to be, let me get the correct dates. You open up when at Caroline's?
Tomorrow night at Caroline's.
Tomorrow night at Caroline's for a week. And if you're in the vicinity, even if you're not, charter a bus and come into town. It's certainly well worth your time and trouble. Nice to see you, David.
Thanks, David.
Come back
Thanks
again
for having
for
me.
us. We'll be back after station identification, folks.